Hello and welcome to StudyIQ. I am your friend Rahul Saigaonker. The agenda for discussion today is connected to Indian shipping industry. Recently, a very interesting article appeared in Indian Express which asked a question, and the same question is the basis for our discussion today. That is, how India can become a global maritime power by 2030. The intention of having this discussion is twofold. Of course, we're going to talk about this article, we are going to get inputs from this, but there is another reason as well. I wanted the aspirants to understand how to prepare any current affairs topic or how to approach any article from newspaper. I always advise my students that whenever you pick an article from newspaper, do know about the author. Once you understand the author, you anticipate or expect what kind of content is being delivered. For instance, this article is written by a bureaucrat, secretary to the government of India. So what can we expect? Some kind of government data, steps taken by the government, some kind of improvement towards making India a global maritime power, isn't it? But when you prepare any topic, you need to know both the sides. Of course, you need government data, government information, but you also need to know about what are the loopholes, issues, drawbacks in that particular sector or that particular industry. So in this video lecture, we'll understand both the dimensions. Let us begin our interaction. As I told you, this article talks about how India can become a global maritime power, and it shows that India is continuously improving its performance in the port or the shipping dimension. It talks about the recently released World Bank's Logistics Performance Index. It says that India's rank in the Logistics Performance Index has been improving immensely. It says that India's rank has improved to 22. Please remember, this is not the overall rank. 22 is India's rank in one of these segments, that is international shipments, where we have improved our rank from 44. It was 44 in 2014, and now in 2023 it is 22. Immense improvement, isn't it? But if you look at India's overall rank in the Logistics Performance Index, it stands at 38. That means there is a lot of scope of improvement still. But still, the question is how we have reached this rank, how we have improved our performance. Slowly and steadily, we are doing it. But what have we achieved or what have we done to do this? Let's talk about that. See, the report itself highlights that India has boosted its performance by supply chain digitalization. It says that since 2015, the government has been working both on the soft and hard infrastructure to improve port gateways on both coasts, on both the sides. And for this, technology has been one of the critical components, critical aspects. Technology, public-private partnership, infrastructure development, all these have been continuously being progressed by the Indian government. And what is the ultimate result of this? Now, if you look at the result, India has reduced its dwell time substantially. Dwell time basically means the amount of time the vessels or the containers they spend on the port for loading and unloading the cargo, and we have reduced it substantially. If you look at the numbers from the LPI 2023, India's dwell time is somewhere around 3 days, a little less than 3 days. And if you compare that with the global level, India has been one of the outliers, one of the best performers. Countries like UAE, South Africa, US, etc., they have higher days. It is 4 days in countries like UAE, South Africa, 7 days in US, and 10 days in Germany. That means our dwell time has reduced. Apart from that, our operational efficiency has enhanced a lot. India has done very well to enhance its operational efficiency. The overall turnaround time at the ports has reduced even less than 1 day. 0.9 days is required for overall turnaround, which is one of the best in the world. This clearly is a testimony that India has been doing immense work towards ports, building infrastructure, reducing dwell time, improving our port efficiency. Much better even than the developed countries. How are we achieving this? We have taken so many steps. We have improved our connectivity to the hinterland. That means if this is the port area, we have connected the hinterland connectivity. We have started the Sagarmala project. Recently, the government is also working on PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, which has connected the ports to the hinterland. Immense investment is going into infrastructure development, the road infrastructure, the rail infrastructure connecting to the ports in the past few years. Apart from that, the report also highlights that India has been working towards PPP model, that means public-private partnership model, in many of the major ports. PPP entities are already present. In the last few years, from 2014, PPP entities have enhanced India's capacity by 300 metric million tons cargo capacity, cargo holding capacity, or cargo operating capacity. Apart from that, the PPP entities even in the major ports, they handle more than 50% of the cargo. So we have brought the PPP model in our ports. Apart from that, we have contributed towards decarbonization. We do know India is one of the pioneers in fight against climate change. Our INDCs have been quite extensive. India is one of the few countries which is achieving its contribution, whatever we have announced. In the COP26, India had announced Panchamrit, and Panchamrit and its aspects have also been seen in ports. India's major ports have seen almost a 14-fold increase in the use of renewable energy in the last 8 years. Apart from that, India has also issued Harit Sagar Green Port Guidelines, where ports will focus on sustainability more and more. Apart from that, Green Port Project has also been launched. Green Port Project, it aims to make shipping industry fuel efficient and shift towards more cleaner fuels. So India is doing all these things. Apart from that, India has brought key policy and legislative reforms. In recent times, we have passed the Major Port Authorities Act 2021, the Marine Aids to Navigation Act 2021 that provides increased safety and efficiency for traffic services in the maritime domain. India has also brought the Indian Vessels Act 2021. The Indian government is also working towards replacing the Indian Ports Act of 1908. This is still a work in progress. Apart from that, the government of India has taken many steps. Earlier, we used to criticize, experts used to criticize that India does not have a single window clearance setup or facility in the shipping industry for the port infrastructure. Now, India has also created National Marine Logistics Portal, which is nothing but a single window digital platform for all the stakeholders which are involved in the shipping industry. We have also launched an app called as Sagar Setu app, which facilitates seamless movements of goods and services in the ports and around those areas. So ease of doing business is being promoted continuously. Apart from that, we have also created a broad perspective plan to make India a global maritime power by 2030. Sagar Mala Port-led prosperity plan has already been launched by Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, and we have already created a Maritime India Vision 2030. It is a almost 300-page or document which gives a perspective plan for improving India's maritime domain. So all these things, they show that India is going to become a maritime global power for sure. By 2030, if we are able to achieve this vision, then we will be a superpower for sure in the maritime domain. So a lot of improvement, which is the testimony for that has also come not just from the World Bank, from the IMF, from the World Economic Forum. Everywhere we have seen improvement in India's parameters. But is everything hunky-dory? Are there any steps, or are there any areas of improvement? Yes, there are many areas of improvement. So now let's focus on areas of improvement. But before that, there is a small notice for all the UPSC civil services aspirants. StudyIQ is launching Prelims to Interview initiative on 19th of June completely in English. Right? The English batch is starting from 19th June. StudyIQ will be hand-holding you during your prelims, your mains, and during your interview as well. It's a most comprehensive program at a very affordable price. Do visit our website studyiq.com. If you want maximum discount, use my code Rahul Live when you check out. All right, I'll see you in the class. Right, let's talk about some of the issues. Now, as you can see, this is the LPI Logistics Performance Index 2023. I told you the first rank is with Singapore, but India's rank, I told you, is 38 overall rank. This is India's rank. India stands somewhere here. And as I told you, LPI is composed of many things: customs, infrastructure, international shipment, logistics, etc. And in this international shipment arena, India's rank has improved a lot. We have reached 22 rank with a decent enough score. But if you look at the other parameters, for instance, customs, India's score is low. It is around 3. India's rank is 47. If you look at infrastructure, India's rank is 47. There is a scope of improvement. We need to We need to reach a much better rank here. Apart from that, logistics competence, timeliness, and tracking, India's rank is still, it needs improvement. Tracking and tracing, it needs a lot of improvement. As I told you, when you talk about shipping industry, when you talk about logistics performance, the entire supply chain, it consists of the export, starting origin country, the transshipment phase, and then the arrival phase, import phase. India is doing extremely well here. But when you look at the entire supply chain delivery, service delivery, as I told you, international shipments, India's rank is improving. This is a tick mark, yes. But in all the other domains, for instance, timeliness, customs, infrastructure, services quality, especially tracking and tracing, all these things, they need to improve more and more. There is a lot of scope of improvement here. So overall, we stand today at the rank of 38. That means we still have 37 spots to climb. So what are the issues? How can we do it? How can we improve this? Right? Now, if you look at the shipping industry overall, there are some major issues which are plaguing it. And without resolving these issues, India cannot become a global maritime power. One of the biggest issue is our dependency for the containers on the Chinese. Chinese have taken a huge lead in terms of container production, container building. More than 85% of world's ship containers, they come from China. And we saw a huge problem during 2020. It was COVID-19 period, and during that period, we have seen a lot of shortage of ship containers in India, which impacted India's exports eventually. So what we need to do, if you highlight the issue, we need to get a resolution. That means India needs to do more and more in terms of production of ship containers. The next aspect is there is an emerging priority booking which is developing in shipping industry, especially from last 4 to 5 years, very similar to how we have our ticketing system, right? The priority booking system or a priority system, where the more money you pay, the easier logistics or transportation you get. Now, if something like this is developing in the shipping industry, it is going to be very problematic for an emerging economy like India. What will happen to India's exporters? What will happen to India's importers? They will face a lot of problems, isn't it? People who have money, that is developed countries, they can pay more and they can get the logistics services earlier, and we would be left behind. It's a problem. So the FICCI, right? FICCI has already highlighted this issue with the government of India. Let's see what would be done here. Apart from that, India needs to ramp up its work, especially towards shipbuilding. We need to learn from the Koreans. We need to learn the work of shipbuilding, ship repair, ship recycling. I'm not telling India doesn't do it. We have many shipyards. There's Cochin shipyard, yes, but still the work or our capacity in terms of shipbuilding, ship recycling, and ship repair, it needs to be ramped up more and more. Apart from that, there is a problem. We said that we are connecting with the hinterland very effectively, but still inland waterways has remained a distant dream for us. Once we complete this inland waterway, we develop inland waterway and inland water transport system, it is going to be a game changer for India. Our rank is going to improve more and more. Apart from that, technical advancements are needed in many ports, both major, especially in minor ports as well. In basically keeping in line with the technological developments that are happening in other ports, we need to develop that as well. Apart from that, there is also an issue, eternal issue of maritime security, and for that, India alone cannot achieve this. The issues of piracy, issues of smuggling, etc., they still remain. And for maritime security, we do know in Indian Ocean region, India has been collaborating. So India has to collaborate with many other players to ensure that its shipments, its maritime business is thriving. So without resolving these issues, one can say that India becoming a global power in maritime domain, it will remain a distant dream. So urgently, steps are needed here to ramp up our production in terms of containers, to bring about some steps or some improvement with respect to shipbuilding and ship recycling. Let's hope this happens soon and we achieve our dream of completing that vision for 2030, that is maritime vision 2030. 30. If there is any development on this, if there is any update on this, we'll discuss that again on Study IQ for sure. But that's it right now in this discussion. Thank you for watching this. And if you like this video, you can always follow me on my social media handle @Rahul Sai 222. Thank you for watching this again. Jai Hind.